man. Welcome back, Fat. We are live.
Welcome back. Welcome back to No Excuses. Welcome back.
Oh, man. Appreciate anybody for tuning in, man. Fat, before we go any further, please tell the good people at home how to check out this. Please tell the good people at home what to do while watching this here program, please.
Man, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the post notification. Follow our Facebook page, No Excuses channel on Facebook, man. Run us up. Keep liking the videos. Put us out there. Put us across the algorithm, man.
You know, I be thinking that sometimes, man, things just happen in a strange yet a funny way, right? So, last Friday was May the 2nd, right?
Yeah,
It was Paul's birthday.
yeah.
You know, he loved his Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've been, I'm saying, just the football world, period, the sports world, period, kind of been on Jerry Jones here lately for not really going out making no aggressive moves. Last year, they did not go after Derrick Henry. I thought it was questionable why they didn't draft a wide receiver in the first round of this year's draft, although they did get Tyler Booker, which was a very good draft pick. And then I woke up this morning, man, early, bright and early today, man. The Dallas Cowboys traded for Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens.
Yeah,
The details of the trade are, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Cowboys get Pickens and the Steelers get a third round pick and a fifth round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
So, with George Pickens being traded to the Cowboys, how do you think that helps the Cowboys? Do that put them in any different light of where you already had them at going into the season?
I think it takes a load off of CD Lamb. You know what I'm saying? To him carrying the load of, him being the main option. He's still going to be the best target on the team. But it kind of, it'll be better on him that all the load ain't carried on him now. He got somebody else that can, make plays. Jordan Pickens he a solid receiver, you know what I'm saying? A serviceable receiver. So I think them getting Pickens, I'm not ready to just say that it just like moved the needle that far for me, but I think for the most part, what's most important, it helps. Yeah, it takes load off of CD Lamb. So I'm glad the Cowboys actually went out and got somebody at receiver. You know what I'm saying? Since they didn't get no receiver in the draft or nothing like that. So it's good for them to, go out there and be aggressive to get something that they needed. So I think, like I say, it take the load off of CD Lamb. It ain't just, you know, the whole burden ain't on CD Lamb to go out there and, you know, just be the only option at receiver. So I I like it, man. I ain't, it ain't to me. It ain't just like I say, a needle mover enough to me to say that it's gonna conquer the Eagles. You know what I'm saying, or somebody like that. But I think it was a good move though for them to get, because that's what they needed. They needed another receiver, so it's good for them that they went out there and got one. So I ain't mad at it. I like it.
I think the move now, they're making that move now. It makes the draft make sense to me because and they ended up because they ended up getting the running back from Texas, Jaden Blue, you'll say explosive uh playmaking running back. So they needed that. They addressed that. Now you went and got your number two receiver, George Pickens, who has the talent of a number one receiver, because that's what he was in Pittsburgh throughout his short NFL career thus far. Man, George Pickens, very talented player. He has he is the literal definition of a crash out. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying that as speculation. We literally seen it on the field.
yeah,
From Georgia to the NFL, right? But all that aside, man, his talent alone, I think it's worth the gamble. All else failed. If it don't work out, they only got him for a year. I think they already came out and reported that the Cowboys not gonna sign him to an extension at least till after this season. So
Yeah.
you getting them basically. If you getting them for the cheap right now, it's more of a he in a contract. Yes, a proven deal for him. Hopefully he go out there and ball, get his bag, can stay in Dallas. But what do I think it does for the Cowboys as a team? I think I'm gonna be honest, man. Before this move, I had the Cowboys. I'm gonna be honest, man. I think for the first time in some years, I had the Cowboys in the preseason, like coming into it. I'm not sure if I had the Cowboys making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I had the Cowboys making the playoffs. I think the move with George Pickens, I think before you acquire George Pickens, the Cowboys were a 8-9 win team caps. I think adding George Pickens, I could push the 8 or 9 wins to 10 to 12 wins. I think the Cowboys going to win 12 games this year. I think George Pickens is that dynamic at the receiver position. You pair him with CD Lamb. CD can do the inside slot work. George Pickens on the outside, big body, 50-50, athletic receiver. So I think it works out perfectly. The offensive line for the Cowboys should be good. You get Dak Prescott back healthy. Michael Parsons is going to do what he do on that defense. I think the Cowboys now go back to being a playoff team. I do. I think the George Pickens move is I think it's bigger than people giving it credit for. I understand the question marks with Brian Schottenheimer, his first time being a head coach. Rookie head coach. Not exactly sure if I want him being the one trying to manage George Pickens because we've seen with George Pickens whenever this shit go left, it go left.
Yeah.
You know, not really sure, but pretty sure, man, the Cowboys did get it all worked out, man. And I also want to give a round of applause to Jerry Jones for making a move, man. He made a move. He made a move.
Yeah.
He did. Jerry Jones made a move today, man. And I wish my damn Saints would take note. Because Jerry Jones, I heard the chatter. He did make a move, man. So what I think it does for the Cowboys, I think I do now view them as a playoff team. I'm not ready to say that it puts them up there with or above Philadelphia yet, per se. I'm not ready to go that far. Although I do think this year I might be a little more. I might have more pull back on Philadelphia than I think other people do, only because not because of that roster is extremely talented, is loaded, just because it's so hard to win back-to-back Super Bowls and continuously get back to them. Everything has to break your way. You got to have the right injury luck, but we'll talk about more of that stuff when we get into just our NFL preseason predictions period. Although I probably do have Philly getting back to the Super Bowl, I'm just not all the way sold on it yet. I do think this puts the Cowboys on par with Washington for that second place in the division.
Yeah.
Because before this trade, I had Washington clear cut in front of Dallas. I'm not sure if I have that no more. Dallas might be the jumped in front of Washington for me. I'm not sure yet. Just not sure yet.
But didn't Washington go out and get some too?
Yeah, Washington went out and got Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought
went out and got Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's part of why Dallas had to do something because you know what Philly got with A.J. Brown and Smith and Saquon Barkley. The Washington Commanders already had Scary Terry McLaurin. They go add Deebo Samuel to that with Brian Robinson in the backfield. The Cowboys go, okay, we got to do something.
Yeah.
We have to make a move. So I like the move, man. I like the move. And you know what I'm saying? Now, wow, it's tricky because I think if George Pickens balls this year, he is gonna want top 10, top 5 wide receiver money. I like George Pickens. I'm not putting him in the top 10 yet.
No.
I'm not putting George Pickens in the top 10 yet. I don't even have George Pickens right now currently as a top 3 number 2 receiver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't have him, you know what I'm
Not
saying?
yet.
Now, can he play his way into that? Of course, because he's immensely talented, and not to his detriment. To be honest, he had not the greatest quarterback situations in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it wasn't great, so that ain't none of that his fault. And he was a productive player. But normally, when the Steelers move on from somebody, I'm just gonna say they ain't been wrong when they moved on yet.
Yeah.
They moved on from Chase Claypool, was never the same player. They moved on from Antonio Brown, He won a ring in Tampa Bay. That's fine. AB was still good. He was no longer prime AB when he left
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Part of that, dude,
Yeah.
he suffered injuries too. They moved on from Le'Veon Bell. They didn't look like when the Steelers move on from you. All I'm saying is generally they turn out to be kind of knew what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah.
But I'm eager to see how this play out, man. But I think that was a genius move by Jerry Jones because I don't care what nobody say, man. To win games at the highest level in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and professional sport, you have to acquire talent.
Yeah.
We talk all this shit about coaching and game plans. And, man, real talk, man. It come at some point in time, man, it's coming, man. Who got more talent and who don't?
Yeah.
Especially at the pro level, because at the pro
Yeah.
level, all these are the best athletes in the world.
In the world, yeah.
You have to acquire talent, man. The Cowboys had
Yeah.
to get a number 2 receiver, so I applaud the move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? Good. That's good news. Good day for Dallas, man. Good move
Yeah.
for Dallas. Now, moving on, NBA playoffs. Did you know this was the first time in NBA playoff history in the second round? First time in NBA playoff history in the second round that all 4 road teams won game 1.
Yeah, they said that the other night. I heard
First
that.
time in history. So you had the Pacers won
Pacers.
game 1 in Cleveland. The Knicks won game 1 in Boston. The Nuggets won game 1 in Oklahoma City. And last night, the Warriors won game 1 in Minnesota. Now, speaking of that last game with Minnesota, last night, the Golden State Warriors beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88. And Edwards, bad game. Julius Randle went back to being the regular playoff Julius Randle. Nonetheless, the Warriors won, but they also suffered a loss during the game, man. It's been came out of reported Steph Curry left the game last night early in the he left in the second quarter.
He strained his hamstring.
He has a strained hamstring. They call it a grade 1 strain. Yeah. He's out for at least a week. So if he out for at least a week, that means he won't come back until game 4 at the earliest, possibly game 5.
Yeah.
So do you think Golden State, because I'm not sure if Steph ain't come back for the whole series, that ain't been said yet. How do you think Golden State can fare without Steph Curry? Because I'm be honest, last night they didn't miss him.
Yeah, they didn't miss him
last night. So
yeah,
what's your thoughts? Golden State with no Steph. How does that make you feel about this series now?
Obviously, man, they're gonna have to have Steph Curry back at some point. I think a lot with Minnesota last night. They played, they've been chilling for a while. They wasn't, they hadn't been hooping enough, so they've been sitting back watching the stuff play out and stuff. So I think a lot of that last night was like just rusty. You know what I'm saying? Hadn't played together for a little while, but ultimately for Golden State to win this series, they're gonna have to have Steph Curry back at some point because I don't think that Minnesota is gonna shoot this bad forever. Because right now they lead. I think in playoff history, I think they shoot the worst percentage in playoff history. I think they like in the past couple games they played they like 12 from 76. They've been like 12. Yeah, it's like 12 from 76 behind the 3-point line, something like that. Like atrocious numbers. Like they have not been shooting well at all behind the 3-point line. I think eventually they'll get that going. You know what I'm saying? Especially at home, Minnesota usually don't look that bad at home. I just think, like I said, a lot of it was like rusty. And I have to give the Warriors credit. Jimmy and Draymond, they stepped up and did what they were supposed to. And Buddy Hield had a good game last night. He played very, very well last night. He made a lot of clutch threes last night. That they really they really need to lean on and really needed them big shots. He came up and made some big shots. Hell, Draymond hit some big shots last night. I think he hit like 4 or 5 threes himself. Yeah, man. Golden State. I didn't expect when Steph went out. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they was gonna kind of get flat a little bit, but they kept, they kept they focus on focus on the task at hand, man. So I have to tip my hat off to what Golden State did last night because that was impressive to me because I didn't think that they was gonna still be able to, you know, operate the same without having Steph on the court. You know what I'm saying? But obviously they're gonna have to have Steph back at some point. I don't think the Timberwolves are gonna be that bad at home like they was last night. Like I said, I think a lot of it was, just them being rusty, them not playing, been sitting back chilling, what I'm saying, watching stuff play out. Golden State just came off a long series, what I'm saying, with Houston, but they've been playing ball, what I'm saying, they've been playing. So a lot of times, you having time off, it can help you and it can hurt you. And it hurt the Timberwolves that they didn't play that long. So, I think game two, I think Timberwolves they'll respond and they'll tie the series 1-1, and then we got to see the timeline of Steph Curry. Is he gonna come back, sooner or later? So we have to see. But I think for them to win this series, they definitely gonna have to have Steph. I don't think they can win this series without Steph Curry. I don't. I
First
don't
off,
think.
about last night's game, what I will say is I give a ton of credit to Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr too.
I give a ton of credit to Steve Kerr because as somebody that is an adamant coaches don't really matter in the NBA guy, I stand by my agenda. I have no problem admitting when the agenda takes a hit. Last night, Steve Kerr coached circles around Minnesota coach. I don't even know who Minnesota coach is, but either way it goes, Steve Kerr coached circles around him.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City. I'm thinking about that game. The Golden State's ability to move the ball around consistently, it was night and day from what the Lakers were trying to do whenever they offensively against
they
Minnesota in the
still
first
want to
round.
play.
I think that caught Minnesota off guard. I do buy into when I do play into Minnesota been off. I think game 5 with the Lakers last week might have been like last Wednesday. They've been out basically for a week. So I do
Yeah,
think the rust that did play a part of it. But I got to be honest, man, and me, because I put it on Facebook last week. Was he a top 5 player? A lot of people commented yes. People are saying top 5, top 3. And I have no problem with that because I think Anthony Edwards is that phenomenal of a player. He is absolutely a bona fide superstar in this league. Entering the prime of his career, he's Ant-Man. We know who he is. Ant can't be that bad.
yeah, that was bad last night.
Ant can't be. Ant had 1 point at halftime. Ant can't be that bad. I'm sorry. He can't be that bad. He
Yeah,
can't be that bad. I don't. For me, with Steph Curry being out, that makes Ant's performance last night even worse.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I get the rust thing, and I understand that at some point this is no longer being rusted. Y'all just getting y'all asses outplayed.
yeah.
So, do I think Golden State can win this series without Curry? No. Do I think Golden State can make this series stretch long enough till Curry can come back? Yes. I've seen Jimmy carry less to the finals.
Yeah,
I've seen him take less to the finals. I'm sorry. So
yeah,
it just for me, I think that stands. I think that stands valid. I think it makes sense. I think Minnesota still is going to win this series, or at least they still should win this series. But that loss last night, I'll be honest, man, that was rather concerning for me. Now, I'll be honest. Do I think Buddy healed from his game 7 against Houston to that game 1 against Minnesota? If Buddy
yeah,
Hield is gonna shoot the ball this well for the remainder of the playoffs, Golden State's gonna win a title.
yeah,
If he gonna shoot the ball this damn well the whole playoffs. Now, granted,
yeah.
Buddy Hield is a good player. He's a marksman. He's a 3-point shooter. I expect that to come back to earth a little bit. Hill coming up soon. Draymond last night played the best game, at least shooting the ball wide, that I've seen him play.
This
In
game 7 finals, the game 7 finals in
yes,
2016. Yeah,
2016.
yeah,
I ain't seen Draymond shoot the ball that well in the game in a long time, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he shot
I
real
haven't.
good.
Now, I done seen Draymond play good games, defense, rebound, assist, create. I done seen him do all that. But shooting the ball, Draymond shot the ball very well last night, man. I
Yeah.
think that comes back to normal. I think Ant ain't going to come out and have a 1 point half for the rest of this series. So do I think Minnesota necessarily in trouble? No. Do I think that I think Golden State is very much still alive without Curry than I think other people think.
Yeah.
Because I think just the way that Golden State plays stylistically.
Yeah.
I think the way they
They
play
still run
stylistically,
off.
but I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Minnesota got some low IQ defensive
Yeah.
players on their team too.
Yeah.
I think some of them play on the low IQ.
A lot
And
of
you
they
can
shit.
just
A
see
lot of they
the
shit
ball
is like.
movement. There's no
Yeah.
communication. Julius Randle looked lost the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole
You can tell they
game.
ain't got no. They really ain't got nothing set up. They really just come down the court and just a lot of that shit like freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of just what they do off muscle memory. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? They you know it's just that's why what I see from it. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I do think that Golden State is very much because I'm be honest, man. I think playoff Jimmy can win Golden State a game. I do.
Yeah.
I think playoff Jimmy can win them a game.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you just prolonging this series until Steph Curry come back.
Yeah.
Minnesota know, like I know, the best thing for Minnesota because it already has been reported that Curry gonna be out for at least a week.
Yeah.
So in a week, they should be played at least 2 games, maybe possibly 3 more. Minnesota gotta win 2 out of these next 3 games.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you want it to be game 5, you at home, and this series is 2-2. Possibly 3-1 to be honest.
Yeah.
But 2-2 at the worst.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, I ain't ready to hit the paint. Yeah, yeah.
So I actually missed the majority of the Boston and New York Knicks game the other day. I do know just from what I've went back and read about it. I've seen highlights obviously, but I do know that Boston missed 45. They were 15 for 60 from the 3-point line. Boston had a 20-point lead, blew with Jalen Brunson, who was just one of the best playoff performers in the game. And I really think it's time we start putting Jalen Brunson in these top 10 player period conversations. But because he's a small guard, we just because he's a small guard that don't shoot as well as Steph Curry, we don't put him up there in this conversation, which I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, man. The Knicks winning that game, it's great for New York. I hope that series goes as long as possible because I'm just gonna be honest, man. I despise Boston. I despise Boston. For start, I'm a Laker fan. They are already the rival because they the Celtics. Then I ain't gonna lie to you, I just really hate watching Boston play. Not that I don't like the players. I think Tatum's a good player. Jaylen Brown's a good player. I think Drew Holiday been underrated his whole career. Derek White, like the Boston has a very good team. I don't like the style that Boston play.
Yeah.
Watching the team shoot 63s is just not very appeasing to the eye for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with that being said,
I do
not think Boston is in trouble.
Nah, me neither.
In fact, I think Boston can lose this game 2 that's about to come on in the next 30 or 40 minutes. Boston can lose game 2 and go to New York and win 2 games in New York. I'm not going to say Boston is in trouble in this series until they lose this series. Or New York got to be up at least 3-1 for me to say Boston in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's not for me. That's not a knock to New York because you know how much respect I got for Jalen Brunson. Low-key could become one of my favorite players in this league.
But Boston can hit a switch, though.
Boston can hit a switch, man.
And when they hit that switch,
they got championship pedigree. Before they won the final last year, Tatum and Brown have played in like 7 or 8 Eastern Conference Finals. They just have so much playoff experience, man. And they so versatile. They have a starting 5 lineup that's the best in the league. Boston is fine. And let's call it what it is, man. They missed 45 threes, blew a 20-point lead, and lost by 3. Boston should have won game 1.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I get it, we
Boston.
making the story about New York came back and won the game, and that's fine. But for me, it's more or less Boston blew it, then New York came back and won it. Like Boston
Yeah,
is fine, and I hate to
yeah,
say that as a Lakers fan, but because I was actually about to knock Boston ass off, to be honest. But I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie to you, the fan in me, just the sports fan in me, I want to see Boston, Denver, or Boston, Oklahoma City in the finals.
yeah.
That's actually what I want to see. But if somebody knock Boston out the playoff, nigga, I ain't gonna be mad about it.
I ain't
But
mad. Yeah.
that's what's your stance right now on the Boston Knicks series?
I wouldn't panic at all if I'm a Boston fan. Like I say, the Knicks won the last game. You know, they shedded it out at the end. I think it was more of a letdown, like you said, to touch on what you said with Boston. Then the Knicks just absolutely just, outplaying Boston the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put too much on it. If I'm a Boston fan, I wouldn't put too much, worry. I won't put too much worry on it because, like I said, Boston can hit a switch to where if they see one game, they can win the rest of the games, man. That's just how good it is. Because, like I say, man, they deep. You know what I'm saying? From their starting five to their bench. You know what I'm saying? They're a deep, very deep team, man. Like I say, Boston. That's the reason they in championship conversations every year. You know what I'm saying? They rotate. You know what I'm saying? They 12 deep. You know what I'm saying? Like they play very well together. Like you said, Drew Holiday, very underrated player, but Drew Holiday has always been a great player to me. You know what I'm saying? Porzingis, you know what I'm saying? When he's healthy, Porzingis is very valuable to that team.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Pritchard, Peyton Pritchard, man, he can shoot. He one of the best shooters in the league. You know what I'm saying? So Boston, like I say, Boston hit a switch and they can mess around and win the rest of these games. That's just how good they is. But I have to give props to Jalen Brunson because I'm a huge
yes,
Jalen Brunson fan. You know what I'm saying? I think people underrate him, like you say. I think it's due to his size and maybe it's the way that he play. He's not very flashy at all. You know what I'm saying? But he gets the job done very well. Um, He's not scared of the moment. He's very clutch. I think
yes,
he the most clutch player in this playoffs right now, probably. You
yes.
know,
Fat,
number
fat.
statistically,
Forget clutch. Jalen
yeah,
Brunson been the best player in these NBA playoffs thus far.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just call him.
yeah,
He's been the best player in the playoffs so far.
yeah, yeah.
That's not controversial to
And the
say.
stats back it up. Statistically, the
Like
stats
Jalen Brunson
back it
been
up.
going off all playoffs.
Yeah, like he got the most clutch baskets in playoffs right now. So if it's like I've said before the series now, they better find a way to stop Jalen Brunson now. Jalen Brunson cold, man. You know what I'm saying? Boston got a hell of a team now. I'm not saying that they still ain't gonna win this series, but they better watch little Jalen Brunson, man. That dude cold now. He cold.
And in fact, you gotta
And I
remember,
like
New
hold
York
up, hold
went
up.
out this off season and put this team together specifically to match up with Boston.
Yeah.
That's why
Hold
they
up
went
now.
out and got a Michael Bridges. That's why they went out and got Carl Anthony Towns.
I'm gonna tell you now. I like OG Ananobi too now.
I
He
like
come up
yes, sir.
OG Ananobi, man, he nice too now.
Yes,
They
he
got
is.
some nice weapons now. Bridges. Bridges is a defensive
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna tell you what it
magnet.
is. For me, it's not that New York don't have the team good enough to compete with and make this a long series with Boston because they do. Just to I'm just somebody with especially with pro sports. Pro is showing enough in specific. When you're an organization that's been a laughing stock and a joke for a majority of my lifetime, like the Knicks, I have to see you do something major for you to get that laugh and smell off of you. For me.
Yeah,
So it ain't that
yeah,
the Knicks ain't got the team that can do it or can compete. I need to see the Knicks push Boston to 6 or 7 games. Then
yeah,
next year I go, okay, now Knicks can pull this off.
yeah,
That's all it is. That's all.
yeah,
I'm somebody you have to show me first before I go, okay,
yeah,
this can be done.
yeah, yeah. If I see it, then yeah, cool. But right now, I'm not so ready to just jump off the porch
And
because I
especially
see
when we're
this,
talking about the defending champion Boston Celtics.
because I didn't seen this episode before. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? I done seen this episode. I done seen Boston come out, and even this in this season alone, Boston has been better away than they've been at home, which
Yes.
is crazy. They win more on the road than they do at home. In the
Right.
playoffs right now, they got more away wins than home wins. So
So
it's not really.
speaking of somebody being in trouble, that's really in trouble. Man, for
Yeah,
Indiana taking it to Cleveland.
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think that series over.
yeah.
I think that series is. I think Cleveland is going home.
The
And real
Cavs
talk.
ain't got no switch like Boston. The Cavs ain't got no switch like Boston.
And man, and fan, think about it like this here, man. Quiet is kept because we sitting up here pretending it didn't happen. Indiana made the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, and not to mention last night Mitchell damn near had 50.
Yes.
He had damn near 50, man. Like nigga, they didn't like him playing that well, and they still found a way to lose. That's scary. That's I ain't gonna lie. That's frightening.
Man, real talk, man.
That's concerning.
Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. That's a good goddamn big three.
Yeah,
Now, what we call it necessarily, would that be a big three? No. It's a nice trio.
yeah,
Tyrese Halliburton, nice, man.
yeah,
Now, I ain't jacking that whole what the Halley shit they got going on. That necessarily, that ain't my bag. But
yeah,
nonetheless, Halliburton, nice player. I like Pascal Siakam when he was in Toronto.
yeah,
He was very instrumental in them winning that damn ring that they won with Kawhi. And Miles
yeah,
Turner been one of the best rim protectors in this game
yeah,
for a while. Like
yeah,
Indiana got a good team, man, and they play that up tempo, up and down the court quick. They can't guard Indiana.
yeah,
They cannot guard Indiana.
yeah,
I think Cleveland in real trouble. Not to
yeah,
mention, now you take all that, you accompany it with Cleveland without the injury problems that they have.
yeah,
Darius Garland out.
yeah.
Evan Mobley out. And DeAndre Hunter out.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell cannot beat Indiana by himself. He had 48 and still wasn't enough.
That's what I'm saying.
He
That's
can't he
concerning,
can't
man.
beat Indiana by himself.
That's very concerning.
Like,
That's
I'm
very
be honest,
concerning.
I don't see the Cavs come back to win that series. Would be shocked. Not say, hey, they down 0-2. They can win
I
game
don't think
three.
the Cavs
But
got that
be honest,
switch.
man, I think Indiana gonna win game 3.
I don't think the Cavs got that switch, man. I don't think they got a switch they can turn on and do like Boston and just start dominating like that. I don't think they got that switch in them. I
I
could be
don't either.
wrong.
I'm
I
gonna be
could be
honest, man.
wrong.
I firmly think Indiana is going to win game 3.
Yeah, I do too.
They just hit, and not to mention the fact the way that they lost the other day. I think
Even if they
Halliburton
do
took
win
Nick Smart
games,
away from the other day.
even if
Step
even
back,
if the
buzzer
Cavs
beater,
do
beat
win
you by
games,
one
I still
in Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell just had 48.
yeah.
How do you come back from that?
Yeah, I think even if they win game 3, they still in trouble.
Cleveland in real trouble, man. Cleveland in
I just
real
think
trouble.
they in trouble. I don't like I say. I don't think they got that switch. I don't think Cleveland, like I say, like Boston. Boston has success. Boston did played in big games. Boston know what to do when they back against the wall. They've been in pivotal situations.
Yes.
The Cavs not so much. They ain't been in this type of position for me to just say, okay, they can hit this switch and turn it on, and everything gonna be fine. They can tie the series. I'm not so sure I can say that with Cleveland. I'm not sure I can say that with Cleveland. I have to see. I don't believe in it like that. I just don't.
Oh man, then the last series to talk about, man, and we'll wrap this episode up, man. We had to say the best one for last. Jokic put up 42, 22, and like 6 assists the other day, man. Aaron Gordon, who then now turned into we talking about Jalen Brunson being clutch. Aaron Gordon said, hold up, nigga, I'm in here some goddamn well. He
Big
got some
shot
buzzer
going.
beaters in these playoffs too. You
Big
know,
shot going.
so man, give me because I'll be honest, man. I wish we would have did our predictions, man, before this series started, because I probably would have took Denver in 7. I do think this series is gonna be a long series. Oklahoma City, very good. Denver, very good. Jokic, SGA. What's your takeaway from game one, and how do you think this series plays out?
Man, both stars shine. Both stars shine. Shea Gilgeous had 31 and 10, and I think he was like 2 rebounds or 2 assists away from a triple double. So I mean, you can't ask no more out of your superstar. He did what he been doing all season, averaging 30 a game. He did his part. Then you got Jokic on the other side doing Jokic things. You know what I'm saying? So stars shine. You know what I'm saying? Caruso hit 6 or 7 threes. I mean, OKC played up the par. They did what they were supposed to do. But it came down to a big shot, a pivotal moment. You know what I'm saying? Some pivotal stretches that you had to put together to get you over the hump to win in, a crucial situation. And Denver, they champions. They showed the heart of a champion. They've been there and done that. They didn't panic. You know what I'm saying? They do what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what separated to me. I think OKC is a very good basketball team. The record show that. Denver, a very good basketball team. The difference is Denver is a champion and they've been in these situations and they know how to succeed in them because they've been there and done that already. So that's why in this series, I kind of lean with Denver because I was going off, okay, what if it does stretch to a 7 game series? I trust Joker in a game 7, and no knocks SGA. I just trust Joker a little bit more than I do SGA. You know what I'm saying? I like not taking nothing away from that young OKC team because they very good, man. But like I say, they very well could win tonight. You know what I'm saying? But if
Oh
they
yeah,
not
facts.
that, but my thing was saying that now. Although I said they could win tonight, that ain't me saying that they're not gonna catch hell beating Denver in game 2. Because Denver can very well win tonight too. You know what I'm saying? Like Denver, one of them teams, you know what I'm saying, they can hit a switch too. So they've been there and done that, man. That's why I say in this series, I have to lean more with Denver because, like I say, just they've been there, done their experience. Jamal Murray and Joker, they didn't been through the rain together. They've been through the rain, so I mean, they know what it takes to get over the hump and ultimately win the. They know how to win the thing, man. They've been there. You know what I'm saying? So, would I like to see OKC make it out of this series? I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it because, like I say, I like SGA. I like Chet Holmgren. I like the Williams boy. It's a lot of them boys I like, man. They got a nice squad, man. But Denver, like I say, man, you never know with Denver, man. Denver, Joker, the best player in the world, man. And I think he proved that in game 1. Like he the best player in the world, man. So I'm always I'm always gonna get a slight to the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? So OKC might have the better team overall, but they ain't got that one domino, and that one domino is Joker, man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to see. But Aaron Gordon has been very huge in these playoffs. He's been hitting big shots after big shots after big shots. And Jamal Murray due for one of them avalanche. He going to avalanche one of these games. He gonna hit 40 in. He due for one. You know what I'm saying? So even when Joker not scoring 40 points, he gonna affect the game other ways. He gonna give you 20 assists. He gonna give you 15 boards. He affect the game in so many ways, man. He affect the game so many ways, bro. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good series though. But I do like them.
I think what we watching right now in real time with Nikola Jokic, man, we watching one of the greatest ever play this game.
Yeah,
We are watching one of the greatest ever play this game, man. What dude? He just controlled the game in so many different ways, man. From a score because it's like he get a feel of the game early. He know, okay, I'm gonna have to shoot a lot tonight. Go for
yeah,
40, 20 rebounds, 6 assists. He could go out there tonight, have 28 points, 16 assists, 15, 16 rebounds. But he affects the game in so many ways. Um, I'll be honest, man. I'm with you. I'm with you. I trust Denver in these late game situations more because that they've just been there and done that. They already won a title a couple years ago. Obviously, I think Oklahoma City is very good. SGA, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso. They have a really good team, man. They won 68 games this year for a reason. I'm no one there saying this series is over. I think it's a long series. I do
Yeah.
give the edge to Denver in the series strictly due to playoff experience and Jokic. And Jokic is specific because I do not think Oklahoma City has the answer for Jokic. They just don't.
Nah.
They don't have the big bodies to throw at him. You see, in that Clippers series, the Clippers had Zubac to throw
Zubac.
at Jokic.
Yeah.
Now, Zubac and Jokic, they ain't on the same stratosphere as a
But
player.
it's a big body. But it's a big body.
Zubac got the frame, the size to he bang with him. Chet Holmgren cannot do nothing with Jokic. He's too little.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he had 22 rebounds. I'm not saying they was going to go for 40 or 20 every game in this series. Jokic's rebounding numbers in this series should be very high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should be very high, man. I think Jokic is a very tough matchup for Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's mindset should be, let's lock up everything around him and let him get off.
Yeah.
They don't have an answer for him. Now, granted,
they can't do that.
Don't get me wrong. Nobody really has an answer for Jokic, period. What I'm saying is he's a worse matchup for them maybe than others.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm ready to watch that when they come on later on, man. That is my favorite series right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's my favorite series. I'm ready for that game, too, to come on later on, man. But you got anything else, man?
We touched on all the playoff series.
Because the only real bombshell news today was the George Pickens trade. Other than that, ain't nothing else really happened in the sports world today.
Ain't no music. Ain't nobody. I ain't heard nothing on no music and nothing like that. So, no new drops and nothing like that. So,
been a quiet year in hip hop so far.
Yeah. So,
hey, hell, that might be why folks was so hyped with the damn Drake and Kendrick last year. Last year, hip hop was jumping. It been kind of quiet thus far.
Yeah, man, ain't been that much going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, maybe it's for the crank up, man. I know I ain't got nothing else, man.
No.
Oh man, well in that case, man, we appreciate y'all for watching the video, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. There's no excuses, man. We out.
We out.